Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Star Trek Adventures, second edition. We are taking up after our interstitial Lower Decks episode from last time. I did make sure that I brought over our various Lower Decks characters into the supporting cast, try to get their stats in there. They are a little bumped up because they were primary characters, so if you want to bring them in, that's two supporting points, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. We'll talk about main character versus a secondary character and swapping on those a little bit later. But we are going to go ahead and get started. And I think we see we've got another somebody spent some time on CG doing another stellar background. We see the Kintsugi in motion, and then we get the voiceover from our captain.
Captain's log, stardate 2374. Following a series of devastating losses to the combined Dominion and Cardassian forces, Starfleet commanders ordered all vessels on the line to undertake a rigorous set of combat damage control and evacuation drills. The Kintsugi has been through a lot in its normal duties, but these drills have really put her through her paces. For the first time since we left the shipyards, with some of the cracks in the fused hulls of the ships that we salvaged from Wolf 359. Fortunately, Lieutenant Tassa and her team have been on top of things. I think even Latal would be proud of her. I believe the crew is prepared for any event that might happen in the field, which is fortunate as we've been moved closer to the edge of Cardassian space, acting as a reserve in case of an emergency for one of the other vessels. We've been handling patrol missions close to the contested systems, but so far we've not yet engaged the enemy. In the meantime, Admiral Tynes has made it clear that the Kintsugi cannot continue without a first officer. Now, I have a difficult decision to make. Fortunately, I have heard whispers that make this a little easier on us all. And Vate's got, artfully like dotted silver, like, like festival sort of sparkle kind of stuff all over.
Mhm.
But it's like the embedded fragments of the blade still embedded in his skin. For his, this crew member has a slightly different, yeah, glitter makeup,
Yes.
exactly.
So we've got that, and I think like as that voiceover is going on, we see, we're going through the corridors and we're seeing various drills being run. We're seeing people doing things. We're rushing to quarters, going over the L cars, moving things from area to area, all of that going on, kind of, yellow alert, and then drills to stations, rescue pods, things like that. What I want to do is as a means of potentially generating some momentum and also some color here. I want to go around and see what each of you, what your role is in this, what we see your character doing when we come to you in this. We'll kind of stop with the captain because we'll have the captain attempt to create a preparedness trait here. But Devel, when we come to you, what do we see you doing?
I think she's in the science labs working with her team. They're looking at a lot of like theoretical propulsion systems and just running down a lot of the schematics of the warp core and how it's with the retrofit of the construction of Kitsugi and how it's built can laid out differently than other ships and other ways that we can like manipulate the techno babble.
You manipulate the techno. I think that is a fair way to put that. Enhance the nacelles,
Yes.
change the polarity on the
Like
impulse drive.
reverse polarity of
Yeah. So that does feel to me like that is going to be engineering over science.
that's fine.
But
That's
let's
fine.
say reason plus engineering. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and you also get to use the ship's die
Okay.
on that as well, which will be in this case, I think, structure plus engineering.
Okay. That is one success off my stuff. I think it's one success. It's one success on my stuff.
Okay,
And then ship die is I don't know what I need for that,
10 or
but
less.
well, it's not that.
Okay. So this is tough. What
Yep.
what is the challenge here with the Kintsugi's setup and building that you're actually discovering here? What is the literal or figurative crack in the ship that you're finding here?
I think it's like not so much the Kintsugi. I think it's Devel's clearly not done the reading on the makeup of the Kintsugi. She's not an engineering major, and she is the head of the science department, but like in a weird, roundabout way. She's not like your typical science officer.
Right.
She's like, I'm more terrestrial based and the study of cultures.
I think that's
I'm
absolutely
doing what
fair.
I can, and she's feeling the pressure because she's also got all these other experiments she's been working on. And it's just like, oh, we have to do, okay, all right.
Absolutely. Uh for Mr. Varick, uh, what do we see you doing in and amongst these drills and these runs and all of that? What do we see you doing?
I think the camera cuts to sick bay, and all hell is breaking loose. There is like emergencies everywhere. Varric is working on a patient, and you see him, doing one of those come on, pull through," and then you just hear that kind of tone where the patient dies, and Varric kind of steps back and says, "Computer end program," and it turns out he's in the holodeck, and he's been sort of practicing kind of this trauma medicine, which he doesn't usually get to do. He takes a breath, and I'll switch to I, and I say, "Computer, begin program Varick 342." And we kind of see the scene kind of come back again, and he tries to resuscitate this patient again.
Excellent. Let's have you roll reason plus medicine.
Okay.
And you can also use the ship's computers plus medicine, which is a 12 or less.
Do me first. Oh, that's three successes, it looks
Three
like.
successes and roll for the ship's die. 12 or less for that.
Not so good.
Okay, but three successes puts two momentum in the pool. So
I'll take it.
like, how do we know that you're getting the rhythm, that you are feeling like you have a handle on things more?
Um, I think the next drill that he runs, he's not. I'm not only able to bring the patient back, but you see me sort of moving between beds as well, and offering some advice. And I think I have this realization that I can't just work on one thing at a time. I need to work on several things at the same time to make quicker decisions and not overwhelm myself with logic, for example. So.
Excellent, excellent. I love it. Lieutenant Ward, what about you?
I think we're running kind of a cross-sectional team or running drills, maybe in the shuttle bay where we're simulating casualties coming in, getting them off and out the door, which means they're going to med bay, and then like getting the shuttle turned around for another trip out. So, maybe some engineering people, but mostly kind of con and medical, like dealing with that.
Okay, that feels like maybe control and command for you.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Um, so let me roll two
and I
dice.
think first that's probably uh structure plus command, so a 9 or less for the ship's die.
So there's two successes on mine and another success on the ship's die.
Okay, so two more momentum in the pool. So we're close to the maximum there for the moment. How do we know? Like that's significant. Again, We get to see the ragtag shuttles, the fact that none of the shuttles match on the Kintsugi. We've got some old style and some new styles. We see the Galadriel from last episode up on the repair lift and getting fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's really just practice and maybe a dawning sense from people that, this is something that a lot of the crew haven't done before, which is preparing for casualties among Starfleet personnel. Um, and I don't know, maybe we got a moment where our ensign, um, who am I thinking of? Ensign Kali is, almost maybe almost like crashes the shuttle on a hard landing
Yes,
and pulls to a halt like mere inches from Ward's feet where she is supervising. And I don't know whether this is a moment for Callie to like realize she has to do better, or maybe I should find other duties, but she can't, right? We're we need all of our on officers doing this. So
absolutely. And I think because it is a command success, I think we do get like her, like as you say, that sense of realization that she can't she can't do this by half measures now. She's really got to buckle down on this. Commander Vate. So, what are you doing to create that trait, that prepared sense for the ship? What are you undertaking here? How do we see that in action?
I think what you see is in each of those montages, Commander Vate is visible, uh, helping out with a different aspect. Like when Ensign Callie is looking flustered and overwhelmed with the stuff in the bay. Commander Vate, puts a hand on her shoulder and like helps her move one of the casualties onto one of the shuttles. And when Mr. Barracks in the med bay, Commander Bate is helping one of the other medics like deal with it and talking through, yeah, this is how you deal with void burn. From like I saw this on the Cardassian border, and as Devel and Tatassa are working on the cells and warp core. He's bent over a panel with an engineer helping that.
Excellent, excellent. Presence plus command.
Yes, I should have
And
actually thought about how you would make me roll based on that because could have gone for a different thing. Oh well. Daring plus command. Okay, that's 15. That's pretty high. I'm pretty good at everything at the moment. So
I said presence plus command.
yeah, presence plus command. Yeah,
13 or less.
13 or less. Yeah, sorry, I misread that. 13 or less. So 2d20, and then I roll the ship die.
The ship die is going to be computers plus command, so an 11 or less.
Okay. I'll just roll 3, and the third result will be the ship die.
Okay.
Well, the ship did fail, but I got a crit and a success.
Excellent. So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that will give us the trait
Mm-hmm.
of prepared, which I'll kind of put on the side here. And we'll have that extra momentum we'll throw into the momentum pool. So the ship is ready, is on alert, is prepared for what may come. But of course, these drills happen over the course of a while. We're not going to deplete the momentum pool or anything like that, but like this is sort of ongoing. What I want to do now is come to Commander Vate. Would you like to start with your command choice scene, or should I let the others call a scene with on board the ship and finish with you?
Let's start with my
Okay.
scene. Yeah, just
Then
before
what
we
is
move on,
it?
should I delete the Kintsugi Borg overlay and unbalanced traits from our
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I would just say, yeah, I see those below there.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. In the ready room, both DeBell and Ward um, sat in front of me. I'm going to. I put this off longer than I really needed to, I think. But you both performed excellently over the last few missions. And on paper, my decision hasn't got any easier. But
All
my
right.
decision, the Admiral has asked me to make a decision, a final decision now. And so, Lieutenant Ward, consider yourself immediately promoted. And you are now taking on the assignment of the first officer of the Kintsugi. Congratulations, Dr. DeBell. Well, I know that there's no hard feelings.
It's this is fine. No, I've got too many experiments as it is. I was supposed to schedule a meeting with you about this. But it all worked out.
Yes, yes. Uh, I know that deep down you are rooting for Ward anyways, DeBell.
Ward?
I think Ward has enough experience with Vate to have an inkling as to what exactly that means. When he has a feeling. Uh, but she will look over at Deval and kind of nod, like
It's,
for
shakes your hand and
yeah.
pats you on the back. Congrats.
Thank you.
Ward, you're going to be promoted to Lieutenant Commander. This is unorthodox, but it's within my authority as the captain of the Kintsugi, and I believe you more than earned it.
That gets rid of my one remaining doubt. Um, Thank you, sir.
I think everyone did very well with the exercises. Let's hope that they just remain drills for the foreseeable future. But well, we've got the best pilot in the fleet and one of the best crews. I'll make the announcement to the crew shortly. But the second you walk out of that door, Ward, consider yourself second in command.
And I think we do see it come out, essentially into the bridge to kind of get that shot, maybe a shot from your perspective as you come out into there. Um, you've been given your PIP, Ward, so I think that there are a number of people on the bridge who are looking and are very excited and very pleased to see that.
Farga just starts.
Yeah, I think that is fair because she's very excitable, so she would definitely do that.
All right, Astrid, who you gonna pick as the new flight controller?
Well, I mean, whoever is on duty right now, maybe it's Mahoney. Uh, I think the ensign here is going to fill the role admirably.
Nice.
Let's go around now, and I want to give you a chance to call a scene with a PC, with an NPC. Uh, uh, I keep putting Devel in the hot seat here, so I'm not going to start with you this time. Uh, Varric, uh, what do we want to see of you? We've still got a little bit of the drills going on in the background, but you do have some time to yourself where we can see, what's going on in your other preparations. So, what kind of scene do you want to call?
That is a good question. I feel like things are still Unresolved between me and Farga. Um, is Farga on the bridge at the moment? So she might be busy. But
We can take the scene wherever you would like.
yeah, why don't we meet in what's the 10 forward
The
called?
graveyard.
The graveyard. Why don't Farga and I meet in the graveyard?
Do you think
Uh
it's unusual for you to be in the graveyard, or is
it
this
is this may be the first time I am come here. And I'm looking around, really not sure what to do with my hands or really any part of my body. And I think she's invited me here. I had mentioned that I wanted to check in on her after sort of the medical incidents that she had had, and she suggested that we come here. So yeah, I sit down. She's already here. I sit down at a table, and I ask, "How are you feeling? Are you experiencing any residual symptoms?"
uh, well, maybe we could small talk, but okay. I no, I haven't had any more of those dreams. Um, uh, the only thing, and then you'll see kind of at your shoulder the emergency hologram bartender is there, and we'll put a drink down beside you that clearly, your preferences are registered in the system. So, what is it that they bring for you as your quote unquote usual?
I think it's the first thing that popped into my head is some kind of version. It's non-alcoholic, and it is because I'm still on duty, and it's like some version of a drink that you would serve to Vulcan children. So it's like milk, but whatever Vulcans drink. So the Vulcan equivalent of milk. Yes. Um, I say this is the service here is tremendous.
Good to have you join us, Mr. Varick. And the bartender will fade back to the bar.
It's good to hear that you are no longer experiencing any dreams. However, I must insist that you make regular check-ins at sick bay so we can keep
No,
an
no,
eye.
no, I have been absolutely. Yeah. Uh,
I've not seen you there. Perhaps you went when I am not on duty.
and there kind of is a pause, and she will say, I have the sense that perhaps I was over emotional in interacting with you before.
I'm a Vulcan. Everyone is over emotional when they're interacting with me.
Yes, but and she'll kind of stop and stammer and hesitate.
You do not need to feel any discomfort at my expense. I assure you, I am a professional and I am very interested in your case.
Uh, and you see her stop, and she's clearly wrestling with how to respond to that. And she will say, I know you've run all of the diagnostics and the procedures and checked over the cybernetics, and I know that this is something that you are good at. Um, but I keep having this, I don't know if it's a fear or if it's an actual feeling or not of that I've lost something, that in all of the damage I've lost, I don't know, a memory or a reaction. I don't know. It's like when I first had my limbs replaced, I had that phantom limb syndrome. It's like that with a sense of maybe something I've forgotten.
Varric is uh, the picture of calm on the outside, but on the inside, he is utterly torn. On the one hand, he is desperately curious to study this, and on the other hand, he cares very much about, or he's realizing how much he cares about Farga, and realizes that he is going to struggle to do this in a way that is also respectful of her. So I think he sort of approaches it. I think he asks her some questions, sort of to try and understand better how this is making her feel, and maybe try and identify what the loss was.
Absolutely. Let's have you make a
Oh boy,
insight plus medicine roll.
13.
Yeah.
Certainly this is cybernetics or internal medicine or
Yeah, I
xenopsychology.
think your psychosomatic medicine is the most appropriate here.
Yeah, so that's 2 successes.
So you can definitely tell that uh, rather than actually like having lost memories, she's got some kind of aphasia that's telling her that making her feel like she's lost memories
Okay.
and making her very uncertain on that in a way that's almost very difficult to kind of convince somebody of that kind of double negative there.
If you would feel comfortable, we can begin a series of diagnostics to try and better understand what memories you feel like you've lost. But I want to be careful that we do this in a way that doesn't cause you any further harm.
I think you've got two successes there. So I think that she does. There is just a hair of hesitation, and she will say, "You've helped me out so much already. I hate to take up your time on this, but yeah, yes, like I would like to get better."
Again, he sort of like wants to schedule something right away, but he also acknowledges that that would maybe not be the best. So he says, let us finish our drinks. Let us have, as you call it, small talk, and we will find a time to pursue this.
Thank you, thank you, Lieutenant Ward. What scene do you want to call? Who do you want to interact with? NPC, PC?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I guess the scene I have in mind is maybe Ward is, head deep in the manual, figuring out all the new duties she has. But I wonder if maybe her and uh, I don't know, maybe either Devel or Kali, and just in terms of kind of new roles and that kind of stuff, makes more sense to have an kind of a drop-by discussion with. I don't know, Jolene, do you?
I'm up for that. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So where do you want this scene to take place, Ward?
New quarters.
Um, yeah, quarters, I guess, and I think this is probably the messiest anyone has seen Ward's quarters. There's I think that's very strange to our eyes, kind of Star Trek, multiple data pads out, um, each with a different uh, a different manual on board, as it were.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Oh, wow. Is this you packing for your new room? Because
Uh,
you're supposed to put
I
things
haven't.
in
I
bag.
have to assign myself a new room. That is now part of my duties.
Yeah, you're first
So,
officer. You get a much bigger
yeah,
room.
it's at the bottom of my list. However,
Okay.
um, yeah.
So
What? Sorry,
it's okay. You've
Lieutenant.
just got a lot more responsibilities. Being overwhelmed is kind of understandable.
Yeah. Can I do anything for you, Doctor?
I thought you, well, I figured I'd come help you out, because I mean, I know what it's like when you're suddenly in charge of a whole new department. And I know, like, you were in charge of flight control, but this is different.
This is different.
You're in charge of literally everyone but the captain now,
Hmm. Well, some would argue.
and their promotions.
Yeah. Um, it's a terrible thing to say, but I'm hoping that we have a very busy mission, so I don't have to think about that kind of stuff.
Well, I think
Um,
reviews only come up in certain cycles, so once you
yeah,
get like a handle of it on the thing, I'm sure Kamala is going to help you figure out a decent schedule. Like this, God knows, this shit probably wouldn't fly without her around,
yeah, yeah.
them around.
Um,
Have you taken a moment for yourself to process this?
no,
Maybe we
which
should
sounds like
start with
something.
that. You
Yeah.
can feel free to let it out.
I mean, mostly I was expecting a bump to just regular grade lieutenant and not like
Well, I
lieutenant
mean,
commander.
you're first officer, you kind of have to
Yeah, yeah.
be
I
commander, I
hadn't thought that
think.
far ahead. Um,
Hey, think of that bump in pay that you don't get.
yeah, yeah. All that extra time on the holodeck that I will not have time to use.
You say that, but again, it's first
Yeah,
day. It's understandable. It's just let it out. You're excited, right?
I am excited. Uh, Though my my sense of self-doubt is really trying to, sucker punch me.
Hey,
Um,
look, doubt
I
doubt
transferred from. No, go ahead.
okay. Um, doubt hits all of us differently, and like the worst thing we can do is just try to deal with it on our own. And I know like I think this ship is still trying to figure out who we're gonna have as our main counselor, but I think we have Mr. Varric currently operating in that space. And like so if you ever need the professional help, you should take it because, we're in space all the time. It's unhealthy just to like bottle everything up and just like trudge along. And if you ever just need to unwind or talk or relax, you have your friends. Like I'm always here for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think I will need to. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for a Mr. Varric
Yeah,
counseling
well,
session.
he's doing great
Uh,
work with Vargas, I hear.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm not sure we see eye to eye. I'm gonna have to get over that.
Yeah,
That's
well, but you know,
the only person aboard who doesn't need to follow my orders, apart from the captain. You know,
well, he's not
uh,
he's not the head of doc medical, so
no, he's a civilian student. I mean,
that's
he can,
true. It is
tell me where to
awkward.
where to go.
Anyway, I'm sorry, you were saying before I
Oh, so when I was at the academy, uh, we had, you know, exams going into final year, and at the time I was in engineering, and I transferred to the command track. and I guess I've been playing kind of catch up since, right? Uh, and I decided I'm gonna be the best pilot I can be, and I've spent so much time on that. And now I'm playing a different kind of catch up.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
some people don't even transfer into the command class and they still end up in charge. So you've got a leg up on a lot of people. But
yeah,
let's start small, shall we?
right.
In helping you with, God, you have so many pads out.
And I think
Just
we're
So
gonna,
like,
if I
all
can,
right,
I'm gonna cut on
Warrant Officer
that line.
Kamalo,
Yeah.
just like
yeah,
paging Kamalo, and that's how we.
yeah,
I think we also are a part of our uh, cut here is the dimension of people who aren't in command track getting put in command, and I think that we see the very tail end of Captain Vate and the dressing down that the chief medical officer, Lieutenant Wan, gets for his actions last time.
How many people were on the shuttlecraft? What made you think that was a good idea?
I, I, I was putting a priority on diplomatic negotiations at that point, and yes, you're right. I should have checked through on the shuttle that had been allocated to them. I had forgotten that you and the others had taken the full runabout. I
You didn't send two shuttles? We have two. We had two of the. We had another shuttle.
literally see this pause of the Bolian going, oh, like in their mind, and they're like, that would have been a prudent measure, Captain.
It would have been. And I hear that they're still cleaning the targ mess out of that one. As well as the damage. You did your best, okay? I'm sorry that he was about to say, I'm sorry that you were left in command, but uh, sorry that you were left with such a high profile situation as the Grand Nagus being on board. I would also hope that you might learn from this to, you know, perhaps you could study the rules of acquisition and remember who it is you're dealing with next time.
Captain, I'm very sorry that I let you down in this. I will endeavor, should I be put back in a similar situation, to handle things with better skill
Well,
and ask for more input from others.
yes, I think that the ensigns themselves could perhaps have told you about the shuttle capacity, but you did your best, and I'm confident in your abilities as our medical officer.
And I think we'll see him depart just so we can kind of put a button on that from left over from last time. Vate, I want to give you a chance to call a scene with a PC or an NPC.
Um, I, I think I don't think I need a scene with a PC or an NPC. I think I'm pretty happy with things. I think I'd just be calling maybe one with Farga.
Well, how about this, actually? We've got the nude makeup.
Hmm.
So, what is a scene or a montage that maybe tells us how this has changed you, how this has affected you?
Hmm. Um, I think that what we see instead is another montage of scenes throughout the ship. You see Tavelik running drills against Jem'Hadar borders in the holodeck with his security team. Going hand to hand with an Andorian blade versus the Jem'Hadar's things, and getting absolutely his ass kicked the first time round, then resetting the simulation and getting up. And we see Jores, you know, making firing solutions against a simulated Jem'Hadar ship, while Ensign Werwash sits next to him, fiddling with the computers, and they're talking about how the shields, like the Jem'Hadar weapons are extremely potent against Starfleet shields, but there's got to be a way we can get the phasers through there. Um, and we also, of course, see Drake Hammaker, perhaps saving Tavalic from this Jem'Hadar that's about to bash his head in. And Tafir and Tatassa are working down, perhaps like patching one of the welds across it, and then you see like just the tail end of a Varga and Barracks interaction, and we cut back to it all like fades out and it cuts back to Vate with his eyes clouded as he sat behind the desk, and it's clouded with the same sort of silvery metallic color of the blade fragments, like flickering across, and then it fades, and he says, "I think we're ready. I think we're ready."
Nice. Devel, I want to give you a chance to call a scene here with a PC or an NPC.
Right. I'm looking up some notes. I would like to call a scene with, God, I want two people, but I think Ensign Farga
Okay.
or Tavalic, one or the other. I don't know. I want like their assistants on an experiment in the science labs.
Well, we haven't seen Tavalic,
Yeah.
and he does have a science background.
I know Farga never feels like she does anything other than talk to Varric.
She's comms that.
She's sensor operations.
It's comms and sensors.
But yeah, no, Tavalic makes more sense because
Yeah.
he's also got the security. Because
Will, do you want to do Tavalic?
Sure.
Okay. So what's the setup here, Devel?
so I think like the experiment is she's been studying the schematics of I can't find what it was called, but the module from the Great Space Race that caused all the plant problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, the rundown is like, hey, we know this didn't work for, what it was intended, but the side effects were super useful in like growing plant life at an exponential rate. So like she's been experiment on trying to figure out how to harness that for actual use, safe use. And it's like, you were there. You remember how bad this got. So,
Oh
and
yeah,
I know you have a science background, so.
yeah, and trust me, there's not a plant left unaccounted for on the Kintsugi, just in case this should happen again.
Of course, of course.
But the morpho, you want to use the morpho field for.
Yeah, it would be so useful in like terraforming, not to mention, hydroponics, growing fruit faster. You could regrow coffee beans a lot faster. I know people have gotten real used to them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't. It affected the internal gut flora of the Talarians and some of
I
the other.
know yeah, there's clear problems. And that's
Wow,
why we need to work out the kinks.
I'm just wondering if maybe it could be you. Who knows what a Jem'Hadar's got going on in there, right?
Uh, right, I suppose. But I'm more interested in using this as a tool for growth, development,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
less so interested in using it as a weapon.
Well, hey, and he taps he pats his uniform and he says, "Just got to think. I got to think of these things."
Of course, we'd also have to figure out if that breaches the laws of our rules of engagement. So let's
True.
let's not let's not get close to war crimes, okay?
Hey, if we're going up against the Dominion, then we're already getting close to war crimes, I'd say. But hey,
I think that's just war, but
I meant
all
from
right.
them.
Well, that's fair. I don't know. There's a lot. God, this is definitely not why I signed up for Starfleet, but hey, it's our duty.
I don't think it's why any of us signed up for Starfleet. I mean, I always wanted to work security, but I was thinking more along the lines of, the odd Klingon raider uh,
Yeah,
or
pirates every so often.
yeah, Orion pirates. No offense.
Hey,
Uh,
look, I'm well familiar with the horror stories of my youth from my mom. So
oh,
there's no
really?
offense taken.
Really?
Yeah, no, she's
You mean your human mom, right?
no. My
Oh,
mom is Orion, my stepfather is Delton.
oh,
And mom used to tell all the horror stories. Yeah, like it's crazy how much more fun Earth pirates are from all of my studies.
yeah. It's this great classic series that Ensign Lee once introduced me to. Uh, it's like a whole ride that went along with it. I think this is how
Yeah,
ancient humans, stood in
yeah,
their
plus like I mean Captain Blood against all flags. Like there's so many fun like that Maureen O'Hara. Wow.
yeah. Anyway, plants. Yes, plants.
Right.
The morpho. Well, they
So
did
we've
say, of
got, just like one seed planted, and we're just gonna see what we can do.
course. And he steps back and draws his phaser.
Of course. Get the shields ready.
Perfect. And I think that is a good place for us to cut away from that scene, because we will uh, cut to the bridge. Captain Vate, you're in the command seat when let's say that Farga is on comms right this moment before switching stations, and she said, Captain, I'm picking up distress calls from the Stockton, Tace, and the Rousseau. They're under heavy attack. Looks like I'm going over. Looks like their comms are being jammed. They're requesting immediate assistance. Uh, it looks like they're in the Pleiades system. It's fairly close to Cardassian border.
Red alert.
That will come up.
Ensign, plot us a course. All hands to battle stations. This is it, people.
And I think you will get the call out, Captain, 2.5 minutes at maximum warp.
Maximum warp.
And what's your engage statement?
Uh, God, you put me on the spot then. I feel
I
like
know.
lower decks. I'm workshopping it.
I'm more shopping.
Uh, let's fucking go. Yeah. Is you know, God, nothing can be engaged, can it?
I
Nothing can
know I
ever be
can't. No, it's
engaged.
so
Nothing
good.
can ever be engaged. You know, um, let's just skip over that because I literally can't think of it.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. But I think we're going to cut to the commercial break with the ship going to warp. Let's take 10 and then we're going to come back, okay? All right. So in a second, I'm going to frame this up into the spaceship combat scene. And probably the best reference that you can have to kind of know what you can do on your turn is the ship's action tab that's in the keeper. This breaks it down by the different positions. There, of course, the first ones are kind of the general ones that anybody can do. Bottom line, on your turn, you can do a minor action and a major action. You get both of those. Oftentimes, the minor action can be to set something else up, but sometimes you just won't need it. If you need to do an additional minor action for some reason, that just costs some momentum. If after you've successfully done a major action, you want to do another major action, that costs 2 momentum, but increases the difficulty of that second action. And how this is going to work is there are four of you. So you're going to take an action. The enemy ships are going to take an action. And then we'll go to the next player and we're going to switch up. If ever you don't want to hand it off to the other team, you can spend a momentum or threat to uh, uh, keep going and have two people go in a row. but each of you will go once on kind of a round, and I'll go once for each of the two ships that are opposing you. Now, you can, on any particular turn, you can play your main character, or you can play one of the supporting characters. Like if there's something you'd like to have a supporting character do on your turn, you can do that. What I would ask though is that if you decide to use a supporting character, you stick for that one for the rest of the scene. So just in case. Um, that is the basics of it. Uh, we are using the Albert Rodeo. The map is broken into zones. It's like a little bit like Fate. Uh, there's close, which is in your same zone. There's medium range, which is anything adjacent to your zone. That includes diagonally. And there's long range, which is one more space out from that. So that's kind of the range thing and how it is going. There is a thing called reserve power. You start with that ready. There are certain actions that require the expenditure of reserve power. So you may look at that. You have phaser arrays. You have photon torpedoes. Photon torpedoes are long range, but they have a higher difficulty to hit. Phasers are medium range, attack difficulty of 2. The important things that you should know about that you have on your ship. You've got a redundant systems on your sensors, which means if you suffer a breach, which is kind of the full injury on that, you get to immediately patch that. You also have fast targeting systems, which there is a tactical action called targeting solution. That's a minor action. When you do it, you get some additional benefits for that. And then there's also improved damage control. So if you do the damage control action, and damage control can be, can be read as engineering. It can be read as medical, sending medical parties to the area, that kind of thing. In almost all of these cases with your ship, you're probably going to get the ship's die with you as well. So just be aware of that. Anyone have any questions before we get rolling into this? Okay. Then we will see the Kintsugi come out of warp. In the interim, the couple of minutes that you've had, science has been able to pull up the very basics on the Pleiades system. It's uninhabited. There's a lot of stellar debris in that area. There's a collapsing solar object in the system that has a fairly potent set of energies it's releasing and a gravity well. When you come in system, the first sort of sensor scan that goes out, and Fargo will say, Captain, it looks like the Rousseau has been destroyed. And I think we will, frame in and we can see the debris in CG where you're at of a Hoover class ship there broken apart. But what we'll also see in system further on, we do that kind of zoom in. You can see that the Tace, which is a Cheyenne class vessel, powers out. It's drifting. Shields are down. It's clearly kind of desperately moved into a nebula or an object of energy to try and provide some defenses for it. But it's right now it's a sitting duck. The other ship that is present on the field is, you can see, the California class, a ship we've seen before in this series, the Stockton, is clearly caught in the well of that solar object. It's going to be a while before it falls into it. You can see that there are definitely signs of Cardassian Dominion ships that have already been destroyed. Right now, there are 2 vessels on the field. One is a Jem'Hadar attack ship. You can see that there, sort of at the northeast. And then down to the southwest, there is a Galar class Cardassian ship. It looks like it has some damage to it. Not much, but it definitely does. And this is where we come in right now. So, Commander Vate, you get to say who goes first, say what orders, give us the scene. And especially when you spend your determination or your momentum, I want to have us talk through what that looks like for actions here. So,
Yeah. I think the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a threat
okay.
as his eyes cloud over briefly. And I want to know at any point during player myth, the game master hints or insights about the current situation, and the game master may similarly offer information about the current situation I'm not normally able to determine. And I would like a hint about what are the Dominion forces planning, which of the two Starfleet vessels is most at risk in the next, round, basically.
Absolutely. I think you can definitely see, I think we'll see a vision of the attack pattern, and we will see the Galor and the Jem'Hadar attack ship both definitely heading for the Tace to go and lay fire into that. Right now, it seems like that they're determined to finish that off, perhaps not even worrying about the Stockton until after the Tace has been destroyed.
Great. So the very first thing that he'll do is he'll just say, both ships are going to attack the Tace. We need to set ourselves up to defend them immediately. Ward, plot a course. Get us in between the Tace and as close as possible to it without falling into that gravity well.
So let's say then, Ward, you're going to have first action. Talking is a free action. We haven't done any rolls, so it doesn't eat up an action. And I think activating your talent is, we're going to say, is a free thing in here. So Ward, what do you want to do?
So I think closing the distance with the taste, but also expecting that they might make a run on it. So maybe I'm doing an attack pattern on kind of likely avenues of attack on the taste, so that if I set that up, um, I guess Tvelic can hit maybe the Jem'Hadar ship. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
So let's do your attack pattern action, and then I assume you'll want to do an impulse action to move the ship too.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
The attack pattern action, you will essentially, when a ship makes an attack before your next turn, you can assist using your control plus con. It does mean that attacks against your ship, the difficulty is reduced by one. But we'll come to that assist action when that goes. So the next thing is your impulse. So you can move up to 2 zones. Three
And
zones that
don't
are
I?
by the Tace. I just want to say this. Those 3 zones that are by the Tace, or any of these zones that have like debris in them, cost a momentum to enter.
Okay. And
Or you
the
can enter
impulse.
them and just come to a stop. It doesn't cost any
Yeah.
momentum for that.
Okay. Well, I guess we shall move into that nebula, and that costs momentum, right?
So if you want to, if you were
Want to
to,
move
that
it?
would be if you would, when you go in, you'll come to a stop if you don't spend momentum. Otherwise, you could cross through it. So
But sorry, I'm moving 2 zones, so that would bring me into that nebula field, right?
okay. Do you want to be essentially north or south on that little axis there?
I will be north.
Okay, so I'm going to move you over into that zone. So you are at medium range to the Tace. You moved over there. I think that then I am going to move the Jem'Hadar attack ship one zone, and they are going to make an attack on the Kintsugi. Oh, I'm sorry. So that's one action. It's the movement impulse there. They will attempt to lock in on you. This is a create trait since I'm doing the helm position for them. So I'm going to roll for them. Well, let me check their numbers here. They are talented. So they have put a lock on trait on you right now. Essentially, they've come and gotten a target lock there. And then I will move the Galor class ship. It will go to, and it is going to hold off. Well, we'll try and generate threat here. So I'll generate one more threat for their maneuver there. So that was Ward. Who wants to go next? Devel.
I'll go. Yeah, I'm going to calibrate sensors,
Okay.
and then scan for weakness.
All right.
The Jem'Hadar ship, because they're like all up
Okay.
in our business.
All right. And so you calibrate, you retune that. You can ignore a trait affecting the task or reroll the d20 and scan for weakness. Control plus science aided by the ship.
All right. Are there any traits?
Preparedness right now for this first
No,
round.
affecting us, like
No,
negative traits to ignore.
no, not yet. The
Okay.
lock-on is not a negative on you.
Okay, so difficulty 2, it looks like.
Difficulty 2, we have preparedness, so it'll go down to 1 on this round.
Okay, so control science. I think that's a 15 for me. Yes, it is. So, and then I roll a ship die as well.
Yes.
Also, I have the
Sensors.
science officer benefits, so lets me ask additional questions. All right. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. So we've got an extra success. You can,
No focus, so yeah.
but you can throw that in the momentum pool if you wish.
Sure.
Okay.
And I
6
roll a
is
ship
the
die
max.
as well.
Yes.
And I don't know offhand what they need.
That is sensors plus security for the ship.
Probably not it. Probably
which
more.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled too high for them.
All right. So the next attack the ship makes will either get piercing or increases damage by 2. Piercing means you ignore the resistance of the vessel.
All right. And I get to ask one question as if I spent momentum.
Sure.
Let's see. Are there any spatial debris that we can use to our advantage?
Definitely the nebula there means that they cannot fire a long-range weapon at a ship in that nebula.
Okay.
Otherwise, the other debris essentially increases the difficulty of being hit in that area by 1.
Okay.
That works for them as well. Jem'Hadar attack ship is going to go, and it is now going to make its attack on the Kintsugi, and it's going to be firing with its stuff. TM's ref here. So that is that. So 13. So that's 2 successes. And then weapons plus security, 3 successes. So that will be just enough to hit at medium range because of the difficulty there. So They will fire off those phase Polarian beam banks. That's going to hit the ship, and it's going to first we look at your resistance for your ship, which is 2. It's halved because of the Polarian beam, so it becomes a 1. We take that off the damage. So you're going to take 5 damage on your shields right now.
So do we lower the 15 to a 10?
Lower the 15 to a 10.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend my threat to increase the damage on that yet. I want to get your shields down further before I do that. Dan, Will, who wants to go next? What position? What do you want to do?
I can play Juris here at tactical,
Okay.
unless Will, you had something else in mind.
As the command, my major thing is I can use the assist action to assist people, or I can direct someone to take an immediate action kind of on top of their one. So if I used the assist action, perhaps.
You get 1 assist coming for whoever attacks from the attack pattern.
But I can add an extra assist to that, right?
Can only 1 person can assist on an action.
Oh, then never mind. Then no. Then you go ahead,
All right.
Juris. You know, all that happens is Vate goes, Juris, open fire on the
Thank you for the order, because I was like, should I shoot them? And it sounds like shields are already up,
Yes,
so I don't need to prepare action to raise shields.
that is correct.
But I looks like a targeting solution. Targeting will help.
Yeah.
So I can do that. I can do targeting and then fire.
Yeah. And because of the ship's advanced on that, you get to both reroll a d20 if you want. And if you do get a breach, you get to choose where you hit on that
Oh, nice.
rather than rolling. So you are going to roll then for your fire. And this is control plus security.
All right.
And you also gets the ship's die. And then Ward is going to roll for the attack pattern assist.
Okay. I'll roll for myself or for Juris.
Okay.
That's 1 success.
Okay. And then the ship is weapons plus security, so an 11 or less.
And on the ship, because of my attack pattern, because of my hands-on pilot, the focus range is doubled for the ship.
Okay.
So
So for the ship, it's rolling an 11 or less, and anything that is 6 or less for the ship is a critical. So Dan, let's have you roll that die.
I did roll that 6. I
Okay.
did roll a 6 for the
Okay.
ship.
So that's 2 successes there. Also, don't forget you get to reroll 1 of your dice because you did the targeting solution.
Oh.
So we've got 3 successes
that's
right
one
now.
success
Yeah.
for me.
Another success, Ward. Okay.
This,
9, yeah.
this is a reroll of
Okay.
whatever was the failed die.
Okay.
And that's another success.
Okay. So we are at 5 successes right now. Now, you get to choose. Do you want to do 2 extra damage, or do you want to ignore that ship's resistance? Doesn't really matter. It's 2 either way. And actually, I forgot you have preparedness, so that gives you another success in this. So we're at 6 successes.
Hang on just a sec. Was I rolling for fire or for targeting?
For fire.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And
so here's how it looks. We look at this is the phaser arrays. You do 6 points of damage base, and then you've got 4 extra successes right now. You get a bonus momentum because the thing is versatile, so you actually got 5. You can put all 5 of those into damage if you want.
That feels like a Captain. Do you want us to do as much damage as possible to this Jem'Hadar?
Juras.
I'm sorry, I
Rip
missed
them
it.
apart. Rip them apart, Juras.
All right, it's gonna put it all towards damage.
Okay. Now,
And
here's
we
the
get
other thing,
to
Jiraz.
yeah.
Because you hit them and you hit them that hard, they take a breach when they hit 6 and 3 on their shields, okay? So they take 2 breaches. Because you did that targeting solution, you get to choose where those breaches hit. So that's comms, computers, engines, sensors, structure, or weapons.
Weapons.
Okay. Do you want both of those on weapons?
I think just one on weapons,
One
and
on, one on their engines, maybe.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Engines.
Yeah. Basically, what it does is that increases their difficulty right now to do actions using those systems. As well, when a ship hits a certain number of breaches, it is done. Dunzo. Let's come back to their ship.
Spend momentum to keep the initiative, right?
Yes, you may.
Do we want to do that, guys? Maybe get Tacit to boost our shields. Maybe because
If I may offer the goob to you, you could now spend the momentum, keep a hold of that, and do that order if you wanted to a system that hasn't yet been fired. So if you wanted to order another person or you yourself do it, you could essentially fire the photon
Again.
torpedoes.
And you would also get Ward's assist if you fired again.
Yeah.
then
Because it's till Ward's next turn.
yeah. Okay, let's do that then. Let's
Yeah,
spend
let's do it.
keep the initiative.
Okay.
So that's 2 momentum. I'm not keeping track of that.
I've
Sorry.
got that.
Nice. And then am I using my my command here to do that?
Yes. What I think it says, like when you order that, you get to roll that action, right?
Yeah, when I direct, I spend 1 momentum, select an ally on the bridge, or immediately attempt a single major action, and I assist you
Okay.
by.
So we would do that. Let's say we have you do that with Tavalic as the
Yeah,
other tactical person. Does that seem reasonable?
if that's reasonable to you, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 people on the same
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control plus security.
Okay.
These are photon torpedoes.
Uh-huh.
So difficulty would be 3. We reduce that by 1 because of your preparedness on this first round. So difficulty is 2. I'm going to spend 2 threat to raise that difficulty up, though, because I don't want you to blow me up this quickly. So difficulty is a 4 right now.
He is a 4, and he gets. So I should. Sorry, going backwards and forwards between.
I know there's a lot of stuff to jump around on.
I was
Yeah.
like, you should just fire.
Yeah. So roll Tabilics. So we got 2 Tabilic dice, one dice from the ship, and then we've got my assist
And
and
then your assist, yeah.
Ward's assist. So I won't spend any more momentum.
Okay.
Though, how much momentum are we on?
You are right now on 3 momentum.
3 momentum. No, I'm not going to spend any momentum.
Okay.
Then it seems like it could be.
All right. Difficulty 4.
So 2 die for Tabilic. Oh, you know what? I'll roll the ship's die as well. Like this before, it'll be the 3rd die in the roll.
Okay.
2 successes, a miss from the ship.
Okay. So you've got 2 successes so far, and then the assist from Ward.
20.
Okay. So just 2 successes. Now.
No, I got to roll my assist as well.
Oh, that's right.
This command.
It's always determination too.
Yes, yeah. Well, if we don't get this, then how do I get rid of that? Do I roll my?
So
Do I roll?
roll your assist, and then we'll check and see if you want to roll spend determination to re-roll his dice.
1d20 for an assist, isn't it? Not
Yep.
2d20.
Yes.
That would be a crit if any focus is applied.
You have like I don't think you have a crit.
No, I don't have
No.
any
Okay.
space
So
battle
right
runs.
now we're at 3 successes.
3 successes. I will spend determination only down to 1. I will spend a determination to let Ward re-roll their assist die.
Okay.
Uh,
Or
Yep.
Ward got a success.
Ward
No,
got a
no,
success.
I rolled
No,
a
Ward
20.
rolled a
Oh,
20.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
missed that. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why really rolling the 20
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
ideal.
Absolutely. So Ward, let's have you re-roll that.
It's a 7. That's much better.
Okay.
Yep.
That's 4
Uh,
successes.
So that's 4 successes. That is just enough. So you are going to do 6 points of damage there to that. There's no extra stuff. It will go through. So resistance will take off that. So it goes down to 4. That takes out its last shield. And at that point, you get to roll a d20 to see what section is going to suffer a breach. So roll me a d20, Will.
14.
14. Where the chart is, of course, it's not. Structure. So structure will take another hit.
And
Action passes.
nope,
Pardon?
I was just going to re-roll my dice to see whether I get my determination back, but I
Oh,
don't.
good call. Good call. And then I'm going to have 2 actions from these guys.
Oh, that's
They immediately
don't
take
love that.
after the siege initiative, basically.
Yeah. All right. So let's have the Jem'Hadar do theirs first. I think the first thing that you're going to do is attempt to regenerate shields.
Does that mean they get 2 turns though?
Yeah, they're going to get 2 turns.
Oh, just because it says once the allies are active, the next turn must go to an enemy. So I just read that as saying that you can't.
But you've used all your turns.
I see.
So
Yeah,
I have to finish them out, and then we start the next round.
I see.
So 13 ships are at 0. So that I'm going to go ahead and spend. Gosh, I've got some threat here. Let's spend 3. Give them 2 extra dice. So we'll roll with 5 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So ship actions 6. So equal to your engineering department plus 2 more by spending a momentum. So with difficulty that, so 3 extra, which 6. And what is your ship's engineering? Oh, actually, 4 extra because of the increased difficulty for the engines, which means so 8 that becomes down by 2. So they're going to go 4 plus 6. Shields are going to go back up to 10 right now from their work. They are going to then, other action is to regain reserve power, which they will do. So that means that essentially they've gotten their power back. They've spent the time remodulating. They're getting their shields back up. They don't fire or move on that action. The Galor class ship is going to have to move again. And it will move there, and it's going to fire. Oof, actually, you're more of a threat right now than the Tace is, so that'll cost me a momentum on that. So ship and crew, and so threat pool of 4. Let's have them fire on you. The difficulty to hit you is increased by 1. And they don't have lock on you. So these are the Cardassians. Cardassians are not as proficient as the others. So 2, difficulty 3, and I need 11. Let's roll the ship's die for a 13 first. That's 1 success. And then the crew quality need 11s, 2 successes. So that will hit. You are going to take 7 on your shields. So you will go down to 3 on your shields, which means that you are going to suffer a breach. Would you roll me a d20? Someone.
Roll it. 15.
15, structure. So you are going to take a breach on structure. So this is the first time we've done this. So of course we're going to get the shot. We'll go around who gets to tell us. Devel, what does that look like? Like what's you took a breach on structure? What is that fire coming across from the Cardassian Galor? What do we see?
I think like it cuts to like one of the lower decks as all of a sudden, there's an explosion and they have to, it's like the I guess like it's a breach of, the the hull's been breached and they have to quick put up some force fields and, shut down like the blast doors in that area to cut it off.
Absolutely. So
We see Werewolf nearly gets swept out before Hamhacker grabs him and pulls him back through the field,
nice. That brings us to the end of that round. We come back up to the top of the next round. Commander Vate, who would you like to have start this round?
I'd like to use that assist command now. I'd like to. I can choose 2 characters to assist. So I'm going to command assist engineering with regenerating the shields.
Okay.
And I'm going to assist. I think I'm going to assist Juarez again with the next shot. Basically, those are the 2 assists I'm going to make.
Absolutely. Who would you like to start with?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is a major action. You also get to choose a minor action?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you did that last turn.
No, I didn't do no, but
Yeah.
I don't have. I have a limited number of like I can only really take. I don't have any command minor actions. They're all
No,
major.
I don't know. Are you only allowed to do those
You can do
actions?
standard actions,
Okay.
starship actions as well if there was something
Okay.
there.
So I
Yeah.
can't do any engineering actions as Devel.
You can change position,
Okay.
and essentially that is a minor action,
Gotcha.
and then you take over for that. So that's how
Gotcha.
that
Thank you.
works. Okay. Uh, so uh, so you do that assist, and essentially that's your major action. We don't resolve that yet,
Mhm.
but we know that we have those 2 assists
Yeah.
in place.
Someone get me the sheet. Get the shields back up. Juarez, hit them again.
Absolutely. Now I have a question for you. Do you want to spend the momentum to hang on to initiative before I go?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to go. Jem'Hadar attack ship is going to take a shot at you. It has that, so difficulty of that weapon. So difficulty goes up to 3. You've got preparedness goes up. Oh, that's on your side of things by 3. And it's got that. So let's roll for that. So difficulty 3 right now for the Faith Valerian Banks on you. That's 2, but that is not 3. So we will see the Jem'Hadar come across trying to take advantage and take another shot, and they just miss there, literally by 1 on that second shot, and miss with the Polarian Bank. And the Galor Cruiser is going to take another shot there. It is in less bad space, but it's still at that. So it needs 11s. Adds a 13 and 11. So I got 1 success, and that's a 14. So both of them will come in. We will see the Polarian beam and the phaser banks, and I think that we will see, Ward, you essentially thread the needle between the two fires as those ships go across there. Back to you, Commander Vate. Who do you want to have go?
Given that they go after every time we go, I think I want those shields back up.
Okay.
So
Do,
develop.
do they always both go at the same
Yes.
time? Okay.
Yeah. Until one of them is destroyed. And at that point, they'll only take 1 action, and one of them will go.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna cut down to engineering into Tasa.
Okay.
And she's going to she's going to look at the ship actions.
Okay.
And oh yeah, they also don't have minor actions. It's gonna regenerate shields, obviously. That's
Okay.
the major action. Requires reserve power. Do we have reserve power?
Yeah. So right now you have reserve power.
Okay.
And you can see there's a checkbox for that on your ship sheet. It's a major action to get reserve power back again.
All right. So regenerate shields is control engineering, difficulty 2.
Difficulty 1 with preparedness.
Okay, difficulty 1. I like difficulty 1. That's great. All right. Assisted by structure plus engineering, difficulty increase. Okay, so we are looking for it's control engineering, right? Yes.
Control plus engineering. Yeah.
13 on hers. And then 8, so 10. 13 and 10 is what we're looking for. So
Okay.
the third die will be the ship's die.
Okay.
That's no successes.
No successes.
It's 0 successes currently. So
0
I think she's gonna I guess she doesn't have any determination. Or should that be reset from a previous game?
If
She has a value,
if she has a
so
value, then she has a point of determination.
all right, then she's gonna spend that
Okay.
as
Reroll.
like yes, to reroll all 3. Well, I guess it's only her 2 die, or does it reroll the whole thing?
It rerolls her 2 dice.
Okay. So, yep. She's using that don't judge a book by its cover because, everyone thinks she's way in over her head.
Right.
She hasn't been very confident as of late. So, that's
Wait.
better. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. Vate.
0 complications.
Yeah. Vate, would you like to roll that assist action?
I would. Can I make the argument that it is a daring plus security? No, daring plus command. Sorry, daring plus command. Or
Presence plus command.
okay, fair enough. Wait, that's a success.
Okay. So that means that your engines are 11. You got the extra momentum, so you can get back up to 13, which means you can take the shields back up to full to 15.
Oh, with the extra moment or extra successes.
Yep.
Uh, I say stay at 13 and put 2 in the momentum pool.
Okay. Well, 1 in the momentum pool.
Oh, 1 in the momentum pool. People okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck with them.
All right.
So
So
it goes up to 4 now?
you were at 3, so it goes up to 4.
Okay. I wasn't sure if somebody had already increased or not. So
All right. Well, I've still got some weapon systems left, so I'm going to have them go. This is their action. Let's start with the
Dinner, oh, she's got cat.
the let's do the photon torpedoes. Difficulty 3, difficulty 4. Let's see. So 13 or less. That's 3 successes. So that will hit for just 5 points of damage. So you're going to take 5 on your shields. And then the spinal lance, which is that difficulty 4. Yeah, not a chance. No. The spinal lance is a cumbersome weapon. It's like a more sort of directed prod. The Galor class has to literally turn into it to fire that off. And that shot will go wide, even as the Jem'Hadar's photon torpedoes screech across your shields. Back in your wheelhouse, Commander Vate, who
How
goes
much was it
next?
to shields? 5?
It was 5 to shields.
Okay.
Who goes next, Commander Vate?
Jiraz.
Okay.
I'll target and fire
Okay.
again. Hang on.
So firing with the phasers?
Yeah, I was just looking at defensive fire.
Let's take a look at that.
Any enemy attack against your ship becomes an opposed attack.
Posed by your daring plus security.
The same difficulty. If you succeed, you may spend 2 momentum to counterattack.
You want to try that?
If we opposed roll, does that prevent their attack? Because it's an opposed task.
So an opposed task means rather than a set difficulty of 2 or 3, you roll and we consider the number of successes that you rolled versus the number of successes that they rolled. That's the opposed task.
I think we still take damage, but we have a chance of responding right away for each.
Right. If you beat them, you get a chance to spend momentum to counterattack.
Yeah.
Could I suggest that maybe we hit them with normal fire and then I can switch to evasive action to get something like the same effect?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also feel like that the Jem'Hadar is close.
Yeah.
So
you still have your targeting solution. You can keep that up as your minor action.
I'll do targeting solution and regular fire.
Okay.
And we're still in the attack pattern, right?
Yeah.
Yep, because Vate hasn't gone yet. Yes.
Or Ward hasn't gone.
Ward hasn't gone yet. Sorry. So let's do this. So it's control plus security for your action. Right now, the difficulty is going to be 2 because you're using phasers. 1 down because of the preparedness. This is the last round. The preparedness is going to be applicable. I will spend 1 of my threat to get that back up to a difficulty 2. So difficulty 2 right now, Dan.
Okay, I'll roll for myself and the ship.
Okay.
Using 2 different colored dice.
Okay.
Ugh. All right. So 7-11 for me, both are hits.
So 2 successes.
I don't know what this is. Do you see
Uh,
what the blue dice says? Is that a 12
It
or an
says 11.
11.
If you click on the dice, it says 11.
okay.
Perfect.
So
So
that'll be a third hit.
3
So
successes.
we've got 3 successes. And then, Ward, do you want to roll your assist?
And the captain assist too, right?
5, so that's another success.
Another success. So we've got 4 successes there. Phasers.
Then it's my assist as well for the.
Yeah. Technically, you're only supposed to get 1 assist, so I've been generous. I'm gonna.
No, as a command, I get 2 assists. I can assist 2 people.
No, I mean,
1 assist per roll.
only one person can assist on a particular action.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now you're doing damage 6. You get 3 points of momentum. So damage will be 7 on them because it costs 2 to raise it up by 1. So 7 points of damage on that vessel. Where is he? So that will take shields down to 3 again. And that is 2 breaches. So tell me what it's like for your ensign there, Dan, when you do the fire and you blow that Jem'Hadar ship out of the sky.
I think even before this, he's like looking at the targeting and he's like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And it's just this weird moment on the bridge where everyone is like, what? And he says, give me a second. Give me a second. And he fires. And he kind of is a little arrogant. It's a little anti-Starfleet. He kind of steps back, and on the view screen, you just see sort of like this quiet moment. The ship is sitting there, and then all of a sudden, it kind of explodes in this kind of melange of stars and things like that. So
Brilliant.
and he sort of is like looking at in an arrogant way, pointing at the screen.
Perfect. And Jem'Hadar ship is off the table. The Galor is going to, let's see, we're going to minor action to impulse. And I think we're going to take shots on the Tace here. So let's do that. So that would be enough. Engines. You will see the Galor come over and take shots and essentially starts a breach on the Tace. Hits it in its structure, and again, its shields are down, its engines are out, so it will rock that vessel. Ward, I believe you're the last person on this turn, correct?
Yeah. So I think evasive action, I think mostly to make the Cardassians pay attention to us again, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Um, so yeah, that just means that any attacks on us become an opposed roll. But maybe we do something like fly right through the debris left by the Jem'Hadar attack craft, and then back around to come in between the Cardassian ship and the Tace.
Okay. So minor action will be to move, right?
Yeah, so impulse to move.
Okay.
Maybe is that into the same zone as the Cardassian ship?
You can move into the same zone of the Cardassian ship. It will cost you momentum.
Yeah, if we wanted to take us seriously, I think we might.
Oh yeah,
want to
that
do
will definitely get their attention.
Yeah.
You could also 2 zones, right?
Yep.
Is it
Yeah,
extra to move through a zone where a ship is? Is that why?
No, it's that nebula. Any of those zones that have the
Okay.
nebulas cause the extra momentum.
Okay.
yeah. So I'll spend momentum to bring us, up close and personal with the
Okay.
Cardassian ship, with my evasive maneuvering as my main
Okay.
action.
All right. The Cardassian ship is going to.
Could we immediately spend momentum to create the trait of, you know, like uh in your face or something, like to
Yeah. Spend 2 points of momentum. You'll get a trait.
should we do that? So like we're the sole focus of their fire for sure. Like, yeah.
I dig it. So momentum goes to 1, and we've kind of worn out the prepared, so we're in your face. And that is essentially fictional positioning is that they have to turn and put their attention on you. They have an action. They fired all their weapons on their rounds, so they are going to attempt to, let's see, we've got that. They're going to attempt their damage control. Okay. They will spend their action restoring their shield back up to the 16, 8, and 4. That is all of their action. Start of that next round. Let's take 5. Since we're at the top of the next round, take 5, and we're going to come back and go through the process here. We've got just one foe at this point. So we're going to come back from the commercial break here. Just in case anyone is watching this at home, I will share with you the Albert Rodeo so you can briefly see what we're working with here. You can see the Kintsugi and Galor. The Jem'Hadar ship was up there. The Tace is drifting. The Stockton is down here. So I'm going to stop the share. So we come around to that next round. You have 1 momentum in the pool. I have 3 threat in the pool. And it's your go
I mean, this isn't
until
a,
I
is
spend a point of threat to take the initiative.
that what you're doing?
Yes, I am. So I'm going to spend that momentum to do that. And I'm going to have the Galor fire on you. I'm going to spend another point of momentum, rather threat, to give myself an extra die here. All right. So right now, this is against your evasive maneuvers. So I'm going to roll against that. So I need to calculate difficulty. I just need to get successes. So let's start with the 3 for the Cardassian crew. They need 11s. I've got a crit and 1. That's 3 successes. And then for the ship system is a weapons plus security. So that's a 12 or less. That's 4 successes. So, Ward, this is your evasive maneuvers, right?
Yeah. So so it's daring plus con, assisted by the ship's structure plus con, which is getting that double up for my hands-on pilot in terms of the focus
Okay.
range.
However, because are using its structure, it says.
Structure plus con, yeah.
So you have a breach right now on structure, so the difficulty is increased by 1. So I get
Uh,
an extra 1
okay,
onto my thing. So you need 5 successes to do this.
okay.
Yep.
Well, let
Just
me spend my determination to get to
Okay.
3.
So that so
Um,
termination takes it down. You need 3 successes right now.
yeah.
you'll get an assist
Uh,
and your focus, the ship's focus rating is doubled due to your hands-on pilot.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So let's have you roll your own stuff first, and then
Yeah.
we'll have to roll the ship's die, and then we'll see about any additional things.
Uh, okay. So let me roll my 2 dice. That is 3 successes.
Okay.
And the ship, 9. What is our con? Is it 4 on the ship?
Con is 4.
Okay, so that's just one more success. So 4 successes, plus my 2 for determination. So
So
6.
so you will get 1 momentum back. And tell me what that looks like. Like they they came in full volley, all the threat spent. I got 5 successes on that, and you just blew it out of the water with 6. What do we see on screen?
Yeah, I think maybe initially we see, Ward read the needle, on purpose this time, right? Those phasers, and she is like maybe gulling, no pun intended, the Cardassian ship into like lining up that beam, uh, and then just flipping the Kintsugi around so that it passes straight through the gap in that in our nacelles.
Nice.
Um,
They fire that off and they miss. Uh, who who goes, Captain Vate?
Jerez,
Uh,
make sure they don't do that again.
Devel?
okay.
Oh,
You were
sorry.
I
gonna
was
say,
going to scan for a weakness again.
do you want to do that first?
Yeah, calibrate sensors, then scan for a weakness.
Okay, let's have you do that.
All right, so control plus science is 15. And the ship die is, I think, a 13. Okay, so looking for 15s on the first 2 dice and 14s or less on the third dice.
Okay.
So 2 successes.
2 successes. So that will be enough. That will get that effect, that increase of damage.
Wait, do I get to reroll a die? Let's see.
Do you have something talent
No,
allows you to reroll?
I get to ask an additional question.
Right.
But
Did you roll the ship's die, right?
yeah, that was the 16.
Okay.
No. I still got the 2 successes, so I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, you have got that scan for weakness done.
And 1 extra success, so we're gonna put that in the momentum pool.
Oh, you had 3 successes?
No, it's a difficulty of 1.
Oh, it is a difficult one. You're actually right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so drop that momentum in the pool. Would you like to spend that momentum and
Go again?
have
Yeah, we'll do that.
okay. So Dan, another volley.
I feel like I got scolded. Juris got scolded for being so arrogant, and there was like a pay attention.
Great shot, great shot, kid. But there's another one out.
Well, that was worth
wait a minute, that's a different star thing.
All right, I'm rolling triple 4.
Okay. So that's what, 6 successes?
6 successes.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
no, 5 successes, I think.
Well, what's the ship's?
Ship security is a 3.
3. So
Oh.
yeah.
5 successes.
Still 5 successes.
Yes.
Just doesn't have the same feel though.
5 successes. Plus we look and we've got the in your face trait. So that's effectively 6 successes.
There we go.
There. And we look at
There's
them.
also the piercing or +2 damage.
Yeah, let's
Is
take
it-
a look here at the weapons. Let's walk through this. So phaser arrays. So right now you've got 5 momentum to spend. So if you spend that, it's 2 for 1. So you can get 2 more. So that's 8. You can do 10 points of damage with the phaser arrays. So that is, get that on there.
And choose which system is hit.
Yes. So what systems do you want to hit there?
Could Dan also re-roll the missed D20 on the ship's die?
The ship die just got 1 success, not
Sorry,
Yeah,
others.
Yeah,
all the dice hit.
all the dice hit. I just didn't get a crit on the, even though it was a 4.
So you've got a breach. Where would you like that breach on?
Let's do weapons.
Okay. So they have two breaches on them that will hit. We'll see that light up across.
Oh my God.
Let's see their actions. Well, the first thing they've got to do is they've got to restore reserve power before they can try and get the shields back up. Because I already spent that. So that is control plus engineering. So they will get their reserve power. But that's it. That's their action. We're back to you, Commander Vate.
back to me. I'm gonna Farga, hail the Cardassians. Tell them to surrender now.
Uh, I think that's probably an action on your thing. So she'll open hailing frequencies. Tell me what you say to the Cardassians here.
Cardassian ship, no more of you need to die today. Power down your weapons. You will be treated according to the Federation's Articles of War.
Difficulty 4.
It's fair enough. Which would be my
Presence plus command.
presence plus command. I can't think of a single way as the captain of the ship to ever use daring unless somebody gets hit by a exploding bank or something.
Right.
Presence plus command, so that's a 13. Does in your face help with this at all?
We'll take that down to difficulty 3.
Nice. Okay. I don't get a ship's die, I imagine.
Don't get a ship's die. Are you
Okay.
spending your determination?
I've already spent my determination.
Oh, good.
But I am offering
1
them.
momentum from the pool.
I am going to buy that, yeah. But I think even by offering them this rather than just getting Juris to hammer them again, I'm invoking my all of life as a reason of its own.
All right, I'll give you determination. You can't spend it on this action, but I will give you the determination.
Cool.
Say
Okay.
mediation probably counts for this.
I don't think mediation, like mediation is trade disputes.
I tried.
Should have just put negotiation, shouldn't I? Yeah.
3d20. Let's see it.
Two successes.
2 successes.
Successes. But we've got an XO on board the ship now who has the roll ability that allows them to let.
I need to spend 3 momentum.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, I
that's
forgot that you
Yeah.
couldn't. Was it had a big cost attached to it? Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
hey, we tried.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We offered them a branch.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that was your action. So they are going to, on their action, move to get rid of the in your face trait. And they are going to try to reset their shields. Let's see what they can do. Oh, so now here is a problem with the Cardassians. They don't have great numbers. Even with the shit. Oh, all of them missed.
Oh, I feel so bad for them.
So that will spend their reserve power, and they do not reset their shields. So who hasn't gone on your side?
I think everyone has.
I think Ward, you did the
Ward.
evasive thing as a response.
Yeah.
So I think you still have an action here.
Yeah, that Vasive was done like last time or whatever.
Yeah, it was a
What was that last?
carryover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess we will stay in their face.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Do you want to try and create a trade effectively? Maybe generate some momentum kind of thing?
Yeah, I think maneuver seems like what we want to do.
Perfect.
There's a there is the create trait major action as well.
Isn't that just the
Uh,
usual spending momentum thing?
So either you could do the create trait, and hopefully you get some extra momentum, or the maneuver allows you to potentially generate a bunch of momentum because the difficulty is 0.
yeah. I think probably I
Maneuver.
can do impulse to move and then maneuver to make them feel very nervous and generate
Okay.
a bunch of momentum.
Okay. Control
Uh,
plus con.
Couples calm.
And you get your cool little talent, precision
So there's
maneuvering.
yeah, two success. That's
Okay.
two maneuver.
And the ships.
Sorry, two momentum. The ship's die. Another one. So
Okay.
that's three momentum. So max is out of 6, right? Oh, you've
Uh,
already done it? Okay.
yeah, you have at 5 right now.
Okay.
Uh, let's see.
And can we move, I guess, right in their face?
Yep, you can move up to 2.
Um, let's I guess if we move right up to them, does that make it more difficult for them to bring that spinal beam into play? Or is that really just not
It's just
necessary?
that's why it's a difficulty 3. Sort of set
Yeah,
for
okay.
that generally.
We'll put them on put them put us onto their
Okay.
sector square just to
You could spend 2 momentum to make a trait that makes it more difficult for them.
I could. Um, I mean,
Well, that's
is something like harried a
I
good
like
trait
that.
to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
harried. Replace the in your face with harried.
yeah.
On that, uh, they
I mean, if
will.
they're rushing everything that they would usually take time on because maybe a bit of internal
Yep.
internal fractures. We should have surrendered. Uh,
They will, on their action, get their reserve power back and put a point in the threat pool from their actions. Let's come to next round. Top of the round, Commander Vate.
um, I think like he looks like at the Cardassian ship, and he looks around at the room and he just says, "Jurez, open fire."
Shall I use torpedoes, Captain?
Make it so.
So I'm going to use targeting and fire with a torpedo.
Okay.
I literally have no idea mechanically what the difference is between these two
Okay.
things. But
Uh, so you can fire those at spread. And what it does is it makes it, rather than paying 2 momentum for additional damage, it's 1 momentum per additional damage.
and does it change the difficulty? The
It
initial.
changes difficulty one, but it also means that if you deal a breach, you're going to deal a second breach for each breach that you deal.
Well, they had their chance. I'm going to roll.
Okay.
I'm rolling really well today. I think that 2 anyway is a crit. So I'm
Okay.
at 4.
Set 4 successes. So that is going to deal. We got the 1 for that. With the trait is going to deal 8 points. So they are going to suffer. Shields go to 0. They suffer 2 breaches, which means that they suffer 4 breaches.
They had their chance.
Where does that where does that photon torpedo barrage hit that blows this Galor class cruiser out of the sky?
Oh, I think I sort of tear a hole in their after tearing a hole in the shields. I hit the engines. So
And they will go up in, just absolute pyrotechnics, full front screen. And well, I think that like is there cheering? Is there tension? Like, what do you think the mood is on the there? What do we see
Uh,
your reaction?
I'd like the others to describe their
Okay.
reactions. I'd have like,
Devel, where you're at, you see that the Cardassians have been taken out. What's your reaction?
I think Devel's mostly concentrating. She's like running a bunch of like scans of the other areas because we're right near that other field. I'm just making sure
Right?
that there's nothing that the explosion's going to interact with that field that could really
Ignite it.
adversely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, a Genesis deviced it. Oh no.
more plants.
Why have we got so many Genesis devices?
Perfect. And Ward, what do we see? What's your reaction?
I think we see some kind of grim determination, maybe a nod to Jurez, and then straight away just plotting a course over to the Tace.
Okay. And do you want to show us Juras or Varric?
Oh, I'll do Juris.
Okay.
I think he's gone through a full arc. This whole thing where I mean I think the screen just goes white and he's sort of realizing kind of the implications of these, engaging in these things. So he doesn't have the jubilation that he did after destroying the Jem'Hadar, and he's just leaning against the console, just sort of lets his breath out slowly.
uh, and Tavilic, like as he has that moment, like Tavilic slaps him hard on the back, and like grabs his hand and raises it in a fist. I think that like some of the other ships like crew are like like great, like we made it, celebrating. And I think that Vate looks, exchanges a glance with Ward, shakes his head, and just says they should have surrendered. And then immediately like plot a course to the Tace. Let's see if we can help them out before we move on to the Stockton.
And I think you'll get Fargo will go Commander, incoming transmission from the Tace.
On screen.
And again, as they classically do it, we see the bridge of the Tace, we see the commander. They've got strategic, mussed up hair and a little bit of Rigelian with some damage to them. We can see maybe a little bit of flames in the background and stuff. And this is Captain Phyllis. Captain Vate, thank you so much. We've got life support, and we've got minimal inertial dampeners. We're just dead in the water. You don't need to worry about us right now. We're going to be working on getting our systems back up, but you saved our lives.
All part of the job. Tace, we're going to send this shuttle over to see if we can get your help get your ship's power back online.
Now, worry about the Stockton. They took the brunt of the hit. They came in and like you're going to need everything you can to save them. That we've been trying to scan over there. It's an absolute mess.
Understood, Tace. Ward, I want a short warp jump over there.
And I think we will see that the ship, we see the special effects for the Stockton drifting in weird cosmic radiation, weird, the solar corona coming into that gravity well, no transporters, communications cut off. They're falling into that sun's orbit. Tractor beam isn't going to work. This is where we're going to be taking up next time. That is the threat. That is the challenge that we're going to be dealing with. So that is the first half of this mission. Whew. Let's do stars and wishes. Dan, Dan, you missed Lower Decks, but you got to see some of the characters in Lower Decks.
Yeah, no, that I'm sorry about that. My folks were here and they are higher maintenance than oh, that's on the recording. Forget it. It was great. It was a
Great.
fantastic visit. Um, yeah, I was really sorry to miss that, so I wish I could go back in time. That's my wish. Stars, this was really cool. I don't know that I've ever done a starship battle with Star Trek Adventures. And once again, I feel like they've got kind of the mechanics really nicely locked up. Lowell, you were doing a lot of bookkeeping, so thanks for that. I guess another wish is Varric's been doing a lot with NPCs, so I think an interaction next time with a PC would be great.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Devel.
Yeah, big stars to you, and I guess the system, but I'm gonna credit you because I took one look at that map and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be so boring. But like, I didn't realize it was 4:30. I thought that went so quickly. So like, oh wow, this was fun and exciting. Yeah, so
Good.
well done, the combination of you knowing how to run this game. Um,
I will admit I did do like a one shot to practice, so I did, and that really helped. And I encourage
yeah.
anyone who's going to do this, do a practice run.
Yeah. Also wish, yeah, let's get Varric more involved in other characters' personal lives. I'm excited to like use some of these ship actions outside of a combat thing, because like, that was looking at, oh, sensor sweep sounds fun, but I'm like, that doesn't seem very useful right now. We're being fired at.
No, that's a good point. It's good. It's some good language to use to describe actions that you're doing, especially as we go into this kind of more abstract stuff. That's a really good
Yeah.
point. Actions.
Like the probe. I'm like, all right, what's a probe do though?
Uh, Vate.
I mean, just to share, I really enjoyed that. I'm glad we did Starship Combat. I think we've done small samples of Starship Combat before, but not the full. I don't think we ever did one in the first season of the Kintsugi, did we? Like,
We did very abstract.
yeah, very abstracted, yeah. But that was one of the most fun Starship Combats I've ever done in a game. I think the only other one that really springs to mind is in Alan's like Expanse type game, and it was kind of fun doing it in Fate as well. But I think Fate's the same no matter what you're doing, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I really enjoyed all the character moments in that. Jurez. This is a Jurez like centric episode. Like we really got to see tactical officer shine, and a Ward episode as well. Frankly, like completely like smashed all of those roles at the right time. It was great, and we saved lives, even though, and we know we got the Dominion War, so great stars there. Wishes. Um, I guess I think we're going to do everything that I want to do. I will probably take Vate out for a search and rescue mission with EVA and finally get a chance to use a daring security. I would invite everyone to just take the character they want to play the most. Like don't worry about who should be on the ship.
Yeah.
Whatever. Captain and the first officer can go out together. They do it on Next Generation literally all the time.
Well, it gives actually a good excuse because Ward won't be here next time.
Mm,
It gives a good excuse to put Ward in the command hot seat there, and let you kind of run around.
that's perfect. It's almost like it was completely planned. Yeah. I had one thought about Starship Combat and the other actions. I guess you could have other types of like engagement, right? Like perhaps like where there's friendly vessels like dealing with the enemy. So it's like
Mhm.
taking turns like in between while you're trying to achieve another objective. Or like the Genesis device is going off and you've got to fight off Khan whilst like working out
Yeah.
how you're
I,
gonna stop.
I definitely think there's some room for some escort missions or like stellar objects that are firing energy off randomly. Like there could be some very cool, fun things to do without making it too complicated. Yeah. Yeah.
I think a big part of what makes the Starship Combat in your games in particular go fast, feel really fast, is that we've got the mechanics. You do a lot of bookkeeping, but like we still remember to talk about the fiction while we're doing the roles, and I think
Mhm.
that like Yeah, so many times when I play other games, like more complicated games with people, with like people in the real world who are less nerdy than we are. As soon as it gets into heavy mechanics, they just completely like forget what they were doing in the game, you know? Like
Hmm.
anyway, that's the star, I suppose. But yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. And Ward, who's not going to be here next time. Are you good with that idea of like making you sit in the captain's chair kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? Um because Ward wouldn't let the first officer and the captain go on an away mission together, right? That's just unwise and against the book. And um yeah, I enjoyed. I know we had done some of that last time, but it felt a little bit tighter this time. Maybe it's the edition drift. Maybe it's a bit more practice level, but yeah, I felt like it was tense enough. Certainly some of those actions after they knocked down the Kintsugi shield was like, oh, what happens if we lose the ship? So we go straight to Starbase 66.
Yes.
But yeah, and I liked the kind of not just those opening character moments. I guess seeing Ward get a whole heap of extra um, responsibilities, but like those mid-action looks and moments that tell us a lot about the characters were great.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I am going to stop the recording